Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Ashley, and this is Between Us.
Hey, do you remember back when I gave you a promise ring?
I do. That was the sweetest thing.
Yeah, it was.
It really was. Like, you had a whole plan.
And I did. This was way back in the day.
Yeah.
This was in the way back when we were young and...
Well, it's like 16,
yeah,
17?
I think so. It would have been somewhere around there. It had to be. Because, I mean, we were definitely still in high school.
Yeah.
And,
but we were serious.
Yeah, I think I may have been a senior, though.
So I was 17.
Yeah, that must have been. It had to be close to that. And it seems like now I look back and I'm like, man, we were like little tykes, you know?
Little tykes. Yeah, we were young. We're babies.
So the story goes, I was going out of town, coming down to Florida. Actually, we lived in Indiana at the time. And there was a thing about the number 4 for Ashley and I.
Yeah.
That is ran through our whole marriage, our whole relationship. And don't worry, we're not obsessed about the number 4 or anything silly. But however, it was just something that's really cool for us. And that's a whole nother story. But
we had a little saying, for always. That's how we would sign our notes, for always.
Yes, we did. And so basically, I was leaving and it was in April. And we have gotten to the point that we knew kind of that we wanted to be.
We were pretty serious.
Yeah, we were going to be together forever. That was kind of the notion.
I mean, we thought we knew.
Yeah, you know how it is. And so instead of just getting engaged, because that seemed weird and too much, I thought I'm going to do the promise ring thing, which was a thing that not a lot of people do that.
I don't
seems
know.
Like anymore.
Is the promise ring still a thing?
Like, I don't know if it was a thing really when we were that age.
It was, though. I think it was.
Okay.
I feel like it was.
Well, so I purchased a ring and I did this whole thing. I had her come over to our house.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it was. She went to the mailbox. She went to like someplace in our house. My mom and dad knew, so we left a key how she could get in. This was so cool. And
my parents knew too. Like they took me.
Yes, they were all in on it. And then she basically, I mean, you can. I don't know. You went up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I went through. Like he left clues and. I went through different parts of the house until we found it. And then weren't you like on the phone?
Yeah, I called you.
My parents had you on the phone.
Yes. The whole thought was she was going to find the ring on the 4th of April. So 4/4.
2004.
Yep. And it was.
I think it was.
It had to be close.
Yeah.
And then it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4:44. And then I had the number 4 is all over the room. And then, it was fun.
It was cute.
It was a lot of fun. And it worked.
And it did.
At least to, as close as you can get. But it was so cool. And I was thinking about that because not a lot of people do the promise ring thing. But I knew that you would love that because you love having a big deal made out of certain things.
I do. I can't help it. Like, I'm the kind of person, let's celebrate my birthday all month.
Yeah, and
You are complete opposite.
True. I'm like, leave me alone. Tell me happy birthday, and I'll take a cupcake.
Well, you do like when we make cakes and special meals. Like, we've just decided, like, we keep yours low key.
Yep.
You get to pick the meal that we're going to make.
Yeah. Give me $100
If I have the margin, I will make you a slamming cake.
Yes. And then for you, it's invite everyone that we know.
You've thrown me parties. You've had... I do remember one time you did a variety show.
Yeah, we did like a talent show kind of thing.
It wasn't a talent show.
No,
it was
you're
more
right.
like a variety, like impromptu, improv.
You're right. Yeah, it was fun.
So fun.
We had a lot of people involved.
I've had Christmas parties for my birthday. People just decked out in Christmas stuff.
Remember you had me as Jesus popping out of a cake?
Jesus, you were 17.
That was the
popped
first
out of a giant birthday cake dressed as Jesus. I don't know.
It was fun. Good times. But you know what? This is all ways to just, I love showing you that I love you,
Yeah.
And you do the same for me, even in the birthday schemes where
I tried for a long time. I was like, oh, babe, let's do this. But I think that's where kind of just we didn't know each other well enough in that area where I'm like, I receive love that way.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he? So I'm going to make a big deal about this. I'm going to invite a bunch of people. And he's like, please don't do that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
So,
but
I mean,
it's okay.
that crushed me. for a while.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it took me a long time to like figure out how to navigate through that because I was like, but you should just be okay with this because I'm showing you that I love you and people love you and you need to know and all this. And you were just like, I'm good.
Yeah. And I'd rather not. And it's two different, ways. Yeah, ways that people receive love. And that's really what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Is we had a listener suggestion that we cover the book, The 5 Love Languages.
Yeah.
And you and I are familiar with it.
Yeah. It's been a long time, but we went through that study early on in our marriage.
Yeah. And it's it was one that was challenging, I think, on the front end, just thinking about, okay, so there's different ways that we love each other or what? And no, it's more like how you show love.
Right.
And more
how you show it and how you receive it.
Yeah. And honestly, when you get down, here's the phrase of the day, to the brass tacks.
Oh my gosh.
You get down to the brass tacks. Then it's really how you receive love is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Author is Gary Chapman. I looked into it just so I have some, a little bit more concrete things. He published this back in 1992.
Wow.
What
90s.
Is it? What's the what do they do? It's the whole oh my gosh, Jurassic Park thing. Yeah, 92.
Yeah.
Back in the day. But it started getting really popular in the early 2000s amongst churches a lot too. So it has like a perspective from the faith, Christian point of view, but it doesn't spend a lot of time on that. Right. However, it is really interesting. So there's Gary Chapman breaks down 5 primary ways that people give and receive love. And I thought that it'd be interesting just to go through those real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have
I have them pulled up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
so
let's see it.
We've got words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Those are the 5 love languages that he breaks down.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I think it's more of like emotional languages is what he's talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's interesting because I felt like before reading this book or going through this study, I remember thinking like, when they were telling me these are the different love languages, I thought like, all of these, wouldn't they all kind of be a way to receive love? But then like words of affirmation for me.
You don't know how to receive words of affirmation.
And I don't know that I like it.
Well,
I don't know that I want to be told so much.
It's because you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think you do too much either. I think you like to be affirmed.
For sure. I definitely, I'm encouraged by words of affirmation, but I do struggle sometimes to know how to respond to it. And so I've just learned over the years to just say thank you. And that is just such a kind thing to say. It is, because if someone goes out of their way to like build you up, like what a jerk move to just be like, oh, like.
Which, do you know how often that happens? I cannot stand when people do that to me. Wait,
what part?
Where people are like, oh, okay.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's like, okay. But see, that's where I'm like, yeah, that's something deeper going on there. It's not about you.
Probably.
It's about something deeper going on there. But I think just over time, I have just learned like, okay, this person like went out of their way to come and talk to me and say these things.
Yeah. It
took a lot of courage for them to do that because I know how uncomfortable that can feel. And you just putting yourself out there. And it is a kind thing to do. And it is, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And sometimes, just to be truthful with you, I just don't know what to say. So sometimes I feel like maybe my response to it isn't as like grand as it could be, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm just going to trust that the Lord's going to take care of that one.
Well, and I think it's good to start with this one too, because anyone could benefit from somebody affirming them.
Totally.
And I think that's part of what Chapman is talking about too, is everyone loves to be affirmed, deserves to be affirmed, but in the sense of how someone receives love, it's almost like if you don't affirm someone who primarily receives love this way, they almost feel neglected.
Totally. Yeah.
Which was eye-opening for me because it's not a normal practice for me to be sure to be like, by the way, you're doing great.
Right.
I love what you do.
And that's something we've had to kind of work out though. Like I've had to just get real honest with you sometimes and say like, I need to hear these things from you just so I know, like we're tracking.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, because there have been seasons, and I know you love that word,
Yeah.
but there have been times, also use the word
That's
times.
an affirming word, isn't it?
There have been times in our relationship where, like, I haven't needed words of affirmation from you as much.
Yeah.
But then there have been times when I really did need it.
Right.
And I had to learn, like, I need to actually tell you.
Right.
Because I can't expect you to just know. Even though I really tried. I tried to expect you to know a lot early on in our marriage. But this one, it feels weird to ask for. Because it's like, I don't want you to say it if you don't mean it.
Right.
So if you say it, please mean it. Words matter. Like there's so much power in our words, especially in encouragement and in correction and in like all of it. But verbal appreciation goes a long way. It really does.
Good. No,
but
it does.
If you mean it when you say it, you know, you're not just checking off a box of like, well, I guess I got to tell her I appreciate this, you know.
That's true. I remember early on we were good at, young love situations.
Lots of time on our hands.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write a note.
Write her a note.
I'm going to put it here, put it there, all those different, she's going to find it over here. And it was fun. And it's not like I wouldn't do that now. It's just that, man, it's, some of the ways I show love now is just because, you're right.
We're in a different place in life too. Yeah.
Right. And so getting notes that say for always every single day can lose its luster.
Right.
However, now when it happens, it's like, look at this.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Really, it's sweet.
And I think something good to say about all of this too is if you're listening and you're like, this isn't so much interesting for me. Understand this. There's been times where I'm like, am I showing her enough that I care? Mm-hmm. And it's helpful to go through these different forms of love or expression of love and say, maybe I should try this. Mm. And because sometimes I think we just think like, okay, she knows I know, he knows I know.
Right. We don't have to talk about it.
Right. And we're good. But
then you find out you're not good.
If you're saying that,
Yikes.
If you're saying that to yourself, like, okay, she's good, I'm good, then you might want to have a conversation. You might want to just put your arm around your spouse. Yeah. You know what? Could you just give that a shot or say, hey, I want you to know sincerely, I love you, or write out a full blown something, because I think that we can get caught up.
We do get really comfortable. We can get really comfortable and complacent in just the day to day. And honestly, so distracted.
Oh, absolutely.
So distracted.
I think everyone knows that distraction is sometimes like the biggest enemy of a relationship.
For sure. Yeah.
And then really the mundane responsibilities.
Yeah.
Where you wake up.
It's not sexy.
No.
The fact that we have to reset and clean the kitchen every night, it's the least sexy thing. But I'm going to tell you, when you go in there after, I have had a really long day and I've been juggling things around, and you go in there and you just load the dishwasher, I'm like, oh. Yeah. I can take a deep breath. That is love. But that leads to the next one. Yeah. Acts of service.
That's my primary.
Yeah.
And I'm jumping ahead a little bit here maybe.
Sorry, if you've got other thoughts.
No. I guess, no. Let's talk about this one, because acts of service is really, I love whenever, there's been several times where it's, time to go to work, all those things. And I'm like, I just got to wake up and go. And then she's like, Ashley will say, hey, your lunch is in the fridge, or the coffee's made, or something like that. And I'm like, there's just something in the old ticker.
Something in the old ticker.
That's just it warms up, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
She really loves me.
Thank you so much. Or I come home and you have spent the whole day just making the house right.
Trying to make it smell good.
Right. And or you got the diffuser going or whatever it is. And it's like, holy cow, this is home. Yeah. This feels right. And for me, that's thank you. That is the best way for me to receive love.
I never, when I was younger, acts of service was the lowest on when I took you can take a quiz, I think, on these.
Yeah, you can.
And I remember acts of service was the lowest when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And now, it's probably pretty high for me.
I would think for a lot of people in our
So that's another thing too.
phase.
I feel like with these expressions of love, I think in different times it can, it can change and shift.
I think so.
So that now, like the older that we are, our kids are growing, we're just kind of in the thick of raising our kids. And so acts of service goes a really long way for me now. Whereas before it didn't necessarily. Like, I was like, man, just tell me I'm pretty.
Right. Tell me I'm pretty.
Tell me I'm pretty and give me a promise ring.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. No, I think this goes even beyond the marriage relationship. I think even family,
Friendship and family.
Yeah, family and friends. You can do this with people in this way.
Your
like
kids even.
Oh my gosh.
There is actually a book about love language for kids, I think.
They
I haven't
did
read
a lot
but...
of adaptations of this, which I hadn't read any of those either.
Yeah.
But I mean, primarily these are really good foundational expressions, I think. Acts of service is really key for me. And I think whenever you start realizing like, man, things are dropping to the side, or this is getting out of order and I don't have time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when, again, the neglect side comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like whenever someone primarily receives love in one way, if they're not, it's highly likely that they're thinking like, what's the problem?
Right.
Because you know what I mean? So it's the opposite that can happen when they're not receiving love the way that they receive it primarily. What's the third one?
Receiving gifts.
I had a hard time with this one forever. Even when we went through it. You remember this?
Yeah.
Which you that is one way that you...
I do receive love through gifts.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not...
It's not materialism.
And that's what's hard for me, is I'm like, it feels like it is.
Yeah.
You know? How would you express... Like, what is it whenever you receive a gift from somebody that you're like, oh my gosh?
Again, it goes back to something similar, like even with words of affirmation. It's like they took the time to think this through, and they really tried to consider me.
Yeah.
And it's just so thoughtful. Like, to me, that is just such a thoughtful thing that they took. The amount of time it takes to plan something like that or put something together that's really personal.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me. To have that much thought in someone's mind, or, space in someone's mind that they would do that means a lot. And like I said, I'm a girl who celebrates her birthday all month long. So sprinkle those gifts throughout the whole month of November.
Pepper those gifts all.
But yeah.
There was so I work as a nurse primarily, and there was a time I was working ICU. It was during the whole COVID thing, but it was toward the end where family was able to start coming back in. And I was taking care of a guy, and his wife was there by his bedside. It honestly was not going very well, and it was really tough. But it was getting to a point where he could be cared for outside of the ICU. And she came in one shift, and she had for me a carving from Africa that she had received. Do you remember this?
Yes.
It was a keychain that she made as a keychain. And she gave it to me, and she took a moment to just say, like, I want you to understand how much I appreciate the way that you've treated my husband.
Wow.
And it didn't go unnoticed, and all of these things. And that was and I won't say it's the only time, because I think, again, everybody receives love in these ways, but it's just, what's your primary way of receiving love? But this was one time that it was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
It was heartfelt. It was personal. It was
real.
Yeah, the gift was given along with like a, hey, here's why. And I thought of you because of this. And it was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That was one. And there's many people that you and I could probably talk through who does this. Yeah. Much better than I do. I'm not good at giving gifts. I'm not good at it. But it was one time that I was like, I've never felt loved that way, especially in our profession of, nursing, where someone really notices what I did and why, and noticed that I cared. Yeah. It was so...
That's powerful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And it's something I still hold on to that thing. And there's part of me that's nervous because I'm like, what kind of voodoo's in this little thing? But at the same time, I'm like, there's too much good. I feel like that came out of that. So I don't know. I guess even if you're not somebody who receives gifts very well, or, puts a lot of value in it,
I think recognizing what the other person has done to present it to you is massive. Like,
absolutely.
I think it's huge.
Yeah.
A way of maybe changing your perspective on oh, I don't really receive love this way, so whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
no.
Or I don't show it this way. That's just not how I
Right.
show. You know how that is? Oh, here we go. Insert soapbox.
Okay, go on, Stoller.
Here it is I think so often we're like, well, that's just not how I show love.
Or that's just not how I am.
Yeah, that, and you've heard us talk through this a little bit.
That was on the red flag edition.
Yes, if you want to skip a few
Go back to that.
But it's true. Like, if that's just how I am, or that's not how I show love, listen, part of marriage, part of good relationships is sacrifice.
Mhm.
Sometimes showing love in the way the person that you are with receives love is part of that sacrifice, even though it's uncomfortable for you to maybe like, hey, how do I figure out, the right kind of gift? Figure it out.
Right.
The whole point is that you're trying to show someone that you really care.
Yeah.
And how can you do that best?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Quality time. Man.
What do you think of it?
Quality time. So this one, again, I took this a long, long time ago, so I know things have shifted and changed. Quality time is a big one for me. Undivided attention, not just being in the same room, but like being present with one another.
Yeah.
That one I think is really important, but I also think that is one that suffers a lot through distraction and through just different times of your life and jobs and careers and kids and family and all of that. Like, you throw that into the mix. And I find, like, even you and I, we struggle to have quality time because of the pace of life. And so we have to be really intentional to have it. That one is still pretty high on the list for me, but I also, I've also learned to not like put all my eggs in that basket, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's been really important for us to like go with, I hate this saying, go with the flow of life, of like what we're doing. Like, there are times where we have more energy that we can put towards quality time.
Right.
There are times where we have more energy that we can put towards acts of service, or receiving gifts or whatever. Like, words of affirmation, you just have to be intentional. Like, that can happen whenever.
For sure.
But with quality time, we had a lot more when we were younger.
Right.
When we didn't have kids.
Yep.
And in a lot of ways, I feel like maybe we took some of that for granted.
Yeah.
Because now we're busy, and like I said, in the thick of raising young kids. And it's like, man, if I could just get one date night, or not even a date night, but just like an uninterrupted conversation.
Yeah.
To have your attention, you know, like that goes super far.
Yeah. I think too, it's the emphasis is on quality, I think, on that, because you could have time, but if you are just in the same room on your phone, or if every night, which one of our kids do this, they always want a movie night.
Yeah.
If every night that you have is a movie night, I mean, how much of that is quality? There are people who walk into a room, or you get engaged with in conversation, and you feel like you're the most important person in the room. Mm-hmm. Those are people who probably speak quality time really fluently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they just know how to engage with you, and they know how to make the most out of the moments. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what this expression of love is really about. Where
I love that, making the person feel like the most important person in the room. I love that.
It's not always comfortable, because I don't know.
It's a sacrifice.
It is.
Like what we talked about.
The whole
like
point.
You're laying aside your own comforts to serve another.
Exactly. And honestly, each of these are that. You're right. Each of these are like, hey, I'm going to take a moment to affirm you with my words. Yeah. I'm going to put some work into something that has nothing to do with me. Right. For someone else, Yeah. And I'm going to put thought and value into something I'm going to give someone else. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then in this one, my time is precious. If you don't know me very well,
you don't get it back.
Look, if someone wastes my time, I am furious.
Yes, you are.
It drives me crazy. Mm-hmm. And it bugs me, especially when they don't, when they don't have something to say and they keep on saying it. Holy cow. That
self-awareness
drives me nuts. Just stop. Okay.
Soapbox.
I apologize.
That's
However,
fine.
Quality time takes emphasizing the quality. Really.
I agree. Yeah.
Ask good questions. Be a good listener. Mm-hmm. Slow down.
Slow down.
Here's the one. Be interruptible.
Oh.
I think that's one that I think I've learned, but I haven't applied very well.
Mm-hmm.
Be interruptible. Well, if someone needs you, just be there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really, I think
Yeah.
that's really key. But yeah, that's a really good expression of love. And I think everybody would benefit from quality time.
For sure.
But some people are like, why don't you spend time with me? And
Yeah.
then it turns sour
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know that you really love them. So,
Yeah. Last one.
oh yeah,
Physical touch.
physical touch.
Holding hands.
And this is, guys, chill out for a second. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Calm down.
Like, it doesn't always have to lead to
It
that.
doesn't end that way every time. It doesn't have to. Your thoughts on physical touch?
I go through, guess the word, seasons.
Oh boy. Phases.
Phases. Let's say phases. I do. I go through phases where I would like more physical touch, and then I have times where I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is true of all of these, isn't it? It seems
Yeah.
like these days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I for me, physical touch has never been like a major thing. I can't say that it was ever like the primary.
We also, like when we dated, I do remember, I think we saw a lot.
Yeah.
And we had some friends in our lives, and even people that weren't really necessarily our friends.
Yeah,
We'd
just
watch
acquaintances more
couples,
so. Yeah.
and just how over the top they were on top of each other all the time. Just,
Yeesh.
ugh, it just kind of made us want to gag. And so we were like, let's not be like that.
Yeah. And we set that up pretty
We
early
really
on.
did. So like we had certain, like we would hold hands when we were in the car. I remember like the
Yep.
first time we held hands in the car, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
But like at church, like when we went to youth group together, and we were just, I wanted to sit by you, but I knew that we both were just like, let's not make a big deal about like,
Yeah.
I'm going to put my arm around you, or I'm going to put my hand on your thigh. Like,
Yeah.
I remember our youth pastor being like, leave room for Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that too.
But you know, as we've grown older and gone through lots of different phases in life and everything, I think it's crazy, but just like a hand on the back or
Yep.
grabbing my hand, or you know, those things go a long way. And like I said, it just depends. Like there are times when I don't necessarily feel like I need that, but when it happens, I really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, and I think each of these, whenever something happens like this, you are saying something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're affirming someone with your words or doing, an act of service or any of these, you're always saying something. And I'll never forget the episode of Home Improvement. Do you remember? I don't know which one.
I loved Home Improvement, but I don't know what episode you're
So
talking
this is one where Jill, which is the wife character, is upset with Tim because there is this female guest character who he is, he says unknowingly, basically flirting with.
Uh-huh.
And there's a scene where he places his hand on the small of her back.
Oh no.
Which
That's the no zone.
That's a no. And you should not be doing that, especially if you get that ring on the finger.
Yikes.
Don't be dumb. But he was naive to what he was doing, or at least he's playing it off that way. I can't remember which way, honestly. However, he was just like guiding her, like, hey, we're going to go in here. Like, oh, hey, come and take a look at this. And it was just the natural. That's what he did. And he didn't think two things of it, or at least that's how it plays out. And so Jill notices it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then,
yes, she did.
And she's one which she's fun, man. If you've never watched the show, it's a great sitcom, but from the 90s, by the way. But but he gets confronted by Jill. And then they have this conversation, and it's about basically like physical touch is a way to show somebody that you are attracted
them,
or whatever.
Care about, yeah.
So it's funny. The last scene, he's back with that guest character, and he shows her out to wherever they're going. He's about to place the hand on the small of her back, and then he does like this.
He like throws his hands up in the air.
He's trying to figure out what do I do with my hands. It's so funny. But
yeah.
I will say this about all of these things. not only is it good for us to recognize like how we can show someone affection and do so like, appropriately for your spouse, but it's also, you got to be aware, like these are ways that people receive affection.
Totally.
So if you are over the top with like your words of affirming somebody, you might be speaking a language you don't even know. And they might be like, oh, they must think a certain way of me.
Yeah.
Married or not, by the way.
Right. It doesn't matter.
Some people are just like, I just need love, and they're not receiving it, and so they'll find it anywhere they can. Yeah. So just be aware, like your physical touch, that little touch on the arm, that you know what I mean? Those speak a lot louder for some people than others.
Right.
And you need to be aware, like there are some lines that should be drawn. And any thoughts as we're
I think you're totally right. Again, different phases of life. These are you like this phrase that I use, ebb and flow.
Oh, the ebbs and flows.
The ebbs and flows. But you're right. Like, I think, again, going back to this word, I feel like we say it almost in every episode, but like self-awareness.
Yeah, we got to be self-aware.
Self-awareness, and then awareness of the room, awareness of your environment, the people that you're around. And these aren't just for marriage. These are for all types of relationships, whether that be friendship, whether that be with your kids or with your family. These can serve you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Well, okay. So as we're coming in for a landing on this, just be aware that you may have a love language or maybe just a way that you more prominently receive love than others. And it's worth trying to understand. It's worth more so even trying to understand how others receive love. Mm-hmm. And these are just really good frameworks on how that might happen for some people. There's other ways too, but these are 5 really good, solid foundational ways. And if you're interested in reading more, you can definitely find I think it's Gary Chapman. Mm-hmm. You can find his book online. You can find studies online. It's really neat.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of resources out there that go with this.
Yeah. But honestly, the best thing I think you can do is, hey, talk to your spouse or your friends, even your family. Say, hey, what's your love language? Like, how do you receive love? And there could be a really great conversation out of all of that.
Yeah. All right. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Let's hear it.
It's my favorite way. All right. Would you rather lose your sight, hearing, or taste?
Oh, geez. Okay. Rapid fire. Hearing.
Oh, okay.
I think I could work through my eyes the most. And I love seeing things. I love and I'm thinking, I don't know why I immediately started thinking about like vacations. But vacations are really great whenever I can like see the sights and, see the art or see the architecture. Man, music though.
I know. That's where I'm like, I just don't know.
But then I want to taste the foods and everything too. Right. But you know what? I'm going to stick with hearing. What's your answer?
I feel like I don't even know. I think I might go hearing as well. There's still a way to communicate.
Yeah.
There's still, I don't know, the music. That's
I know,
the one that
that's
gets
what's
me.
tough.
I do love music. Maybe I would choose taste.
That's where I was about to go that way too.
Yeah.
Because then you can eat like all of the kale that you want.
It doesn't even matter.
No one's gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be upset about it. You're not gonna be upset about
That's
it.
True. Okay, I'm changing my answer
Mine's
to taste.
Yeah, we're both going taste.
We're going on the same page.
You know what I mean? We're both gonna have tasteless lives forever now.
There it is.
And that's okay.
That's all right. We can still hear really good music and see really beautiful things.
And I see you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. On that note.
On that note.
Thanks for joining us in this episode. We'll see you next time.